think of breakfast food? Maybe eggs and bacon, pancakes and sausage, or cereal. When I think of breakfast, I think of banana bread, especially with chocolate chips. Today, I'm going to show you how to make and bake the best banana bread ever created. As a person who often doesn't have much time to eat in the morning, since I'm involved in before school activities like many of you are, banana bread is a quick, easy breakfast choice that gives you a good boost for the hours before your midday meal. My mother taught me how to make banana bread when I was 9 from a family recipe that was passed down from her grandmother. I've since improved my baking skills, and my family enjoys it when either my or my mother make it. I'm going to show you an easy, low-cost way to make banana bread. I will inform you on the ingredients you need, how to assemble the ingredients correctly, and how long to bake it. I'll also show you 2 different ways to eat this delicious snack as well. First, let's gather our ingredients. We will assemble our wet and dry ingredients in their own separate containers. I didn't do that because that will take too much time. So our dry ingredients would include 1 cup granulated sugar. All of my measurements have been put down just so they're not wasteful for today. So 1 cup granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 2/3 cup flour, and 2 cups of chocolate chips. And then the wet ingredients would include a 1/2 cup of vegetable shortening, 2 large eggs beaten. I used 1 just so I'm not wasteful for today. 1/4 cup sour milk, which would be a 1/4 cup of 2% milk with a splash of vinegar so it is soured. And then 2 large ripe bananas mashed and hopefully not as brown as mine. Now that we have assembled our ingredients on the counter or table in front of us, let's get to mixing. So the first step is to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. I don't have an oven here, so otherwise I would have already done that. Next, you either need to grease and flour your loaf pan, which I also don't have because my mom was using them for something else today. Or you use parchment paper to line them. For the muffins, which I have here with the paper cup around them, when you make the muffins, you put this inside the cup so the batter doesn't stick to the pan. Now it's time to start mixing. We begin by measuring out the shortening, which I've already done. We put that in there. Okay. Put that in there. Alright. And then we will also, where am I now here? Sugar. Okay, sugar. We'll add the sugar next as well. And then we'll cream that for about 30 seconds, just so it gets blended together. Oh boy. So then, as you're mixing that, I would be mixing this with an electric hand mixer, so it wouldn't stick to the spatula like it is right now, but my mom also wouldn't let me bring that because it is like 40 years old and she got it from her grandma, so she wasn't going to trust me with that. But as we're mixing that, we would crack open the eggs, which I've already done, and then add them to the mixture, which I'll do right now, without spilling. And then as we mix this, we would have been combining the milk and the vinegar in a separate cup. Next, we are going to add the salt, the baking soda, we're going to mix this mixture while the milk is souring for about a minute. I'm not going to do it for that long for presentation purposes. Alright, next we're gonna add our flour and our milk. So the flour will make the mixture stick, and we don't want that to happen. So if I had more time and I was doing this at home, I would alternate the milk mixture and the flour, but I'm not gonna do that today. But if you use this mixture, this recipe at home, you'd wanna do that so it doesn't stick as much. You also don't wanna pack your flour, cause then the bread won't cook right and it'll come out really nasty. So we're gonna mix this. Yeah, and then mix this for about a minute. And then by then it should be getting to like a Play-Doh consistency, but you don't want it to be oily, because then that means you've overmixed it. So then after that, you would add the crushed banana, which should not be this brown. Again, I'm gonna say that. This would not be something I'd use to cook in my oven. Make sure all of the banana is mixed in, so you hopefully can't see the bits of banana that are left. And then add the chocolate chips for some extra sweetness. You can also make this without chocolate chips, whatever you prefer, but I like the chocolate chips. Also, make sure your hands are clean before you do this, because like I touched the spatula, so you don't want to do that if your hands are not clean, because that'd be kind of gross. All right, and then you would put this in your loaf or muffin pan and bake. As you can see, banana bread is an easy, somewhat nutritious, and cost-effective snack and breakfast item. Today I've shown you the necessary ingredients and steps to make the best banana bread ever. Chocolate chip banana bread is an easy, cost-effective, delicious breakfast item, and I hope you've learned from my speech how to make an easy, scrumptious snack. Thank you for listening to my speech.